Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. As you know, we've been talking about the start of the season and kind of generic stuff around where we are now from a start of the season point of view. Not all clubs have played their first games. So a little bit later, you're going to see when we take a look at the logs, we're currently just measuring the teams that have got points on the board or as a start. All right, we're going to look first here, folks. We're going to look at the Van der Stel St. George's game. Alistair, before we look at this game here, was there anything that you were expecting from these two teams, considering that you've already seen some of the action?
Well, look, we always expect St. George's to come out fighting with a running brand of rugby. But Van der Stel, new in the Super League A, they've recruited well.
Yeah.
So they would also want to make a statement with their first game.
All right, folks, let's go then straight away to the first half of the Van der Stel versus St. George's game. Here we go. Welcome back, folks. We're assuming the sound is up. Akaline, Right, folks, we sometimes just have to check if we've got some volume in the background there. But yes, starting point there, Van der Stel leading 22 points to 8 against St. George's. Alistair, your thoughts on the first half?
I think, JP, as I said, like Van der Stel came out there quite dominant with their physical play. And you can see what St. George's was trying to do, just give the ball air and trying to stretch Van der Stel. But, you know, Van der Stel had most of the possession in that first half.
So the thing that jumped out there for me, and we are going to take a look at the second half in a second, but very quickly, Morgan, if you make a mistake against St. George's, they're going to capitalize, they're going to run the ball. That's exactly what they did in the first 30 seconds or a minute of the game.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's the St. George's way, right? We know that they like it open. And very good on the counter-attack, as always. And even under new coaching staff, I don't think they'll change their identity. And you see it early on.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, Van der Stel leading 22 points to 8 in the first half. Let's take a look at the second half. Right, there we go. Final result then, Van der Stel, St. George's, 40 points to 11. Alistair, straight to you. What I started noticing there was that there was so much forwards play. Van der Stel bringing their heavyweights into the picture.
Yeah, they were actually dominating with their forwards. And then the weather, you see how the weather changed there, you know, and then they changed the tactics while sticking with the forwards, you know.
Yeah. Is that the picture, Morgs? Sorry, Alistair, yeah. Is that your assessment of the game as well?
Yeah, I mean, look, conditions again. It's very, very hard. You know, once that little light rain comes along, then everything's wet, and then you gotta go tight. You know, I don't think that's necessarily going to be what we're going to see from Van der Stel going forward. I think they've got a super talented backline that's going to be very dangerous. So I think we're going to see a bit more air from it. But based on the conditions and what they have at their disposal, totally the right game plan against St. George's side that like to give the ball air, even in those conditions.
Obviously too early to talk about the league log at least, but Van der Stel sitting already at number 5 on the log, and well, St. George's unfortunately a little bit lower on the log, but these are the early days, Ali.
Early days, but the important thing is, and I think Morgan mentioned it with his win, is the bonus points. Picking up the bonus points, whether it's nice and early in the season.
Yeah, you know you're gonna slip up at some point. So you pick up 4 bonus points. It's a victory. It's a win somewhere down the line that you slip up. So you know the same applied for us when we played against NNK a couple of weeks ago. We didn't want to give them the bonus point because now they get a bonus point against us. They pick it up 3 more times, and that's a victory at some point later down the season.
Right. Morgan Newman, of course, referring to Kraaifontein Rugby Football Club there. Right, folks. Morgan, we're going to say goodbye to you. We'll catch up with you hopefully again next week. Renzel Botman joins us off the show. Good luck for the weekend.
Yeah, thanks very much. Easter weekend, so be safe on the road, Ships. But
Yeah.
yeah, we know we haven't got a game. We're going to buy, so
yeah.
I'll actually be down at the Saldanha Bay tournament,
Fantastic.
commentating on that game. So be lucky.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.